What up, you guys? Nice to see you. Yes, I have a few hairs out of place. That's fine. I got shit to do. I haven't been sleeping very well because I'm cat sitting. And cats like to rampage. At least this one does in the middle of the night. Let's talk about how male narcissists exploit and distort the female form just to end up with a man anyway. Mm. All right. So most of y'all, or most of us, if you are a female or if you're a gay dude, right? Fine. Um, who has experienced narcissistic abuse from a male narcissist? Most of the time, they honestly though distort the female form. They abuse the female form, and by female form, I mean females literally in general. They're always treating women like whores. They're always um, actually sleeping with, realistically, like with whores, with prostitutes. They like that. They like women that don't love themselves. They like um, ladies of the night, if you want to call them ladies, whatever. People with vaginas that hang out at night. Um, they like that shit. And why do they like it? Why do they not hold the female in general in high regard? Why don't they consider females to be important or special in any way or valuable? They don't. Number one, their mom's a whore. Okay, that's just straight up. Their mother is literally, usually, always an abusive whore. She's a hoe bag. So he only feels comfortable with other like bitches like his mom, like hoes, right? But he doesn't like his mom. He hates her guts. And he hates you. Even though you're not a hoe, that doesn't matter. The female form in general is to him something that you're supposed to manipulate and annihilate and sexually abuse in every way that you possibly can, and maybe physically abuse in every way that you possibly can. Kind of reminds me, when I talk about this, I imagine the image of the Black Dahlia, uh, the photos of when they found her body. And look it up if you haven't already seen them. But the Black Dahlia, just the fact that she was considered to be very beautiful at that time, right? Um, and just the way that she was not only drained of the blood, but she was also severed. And the parts that were taken off, like her nipples and things like that, and how she was just thrown out in the open for all to see as like a humiliation thing, even in her death and murder, right? Reminds me of that. That's how narcissists look at you as a woman. That's how a male narc looks at you. You are to be sexually assaulted or used up, manipulated, uh, beat up or tossed up, annihilated, and tossed out like trash. Because that's what they look at females to be. And why is that, other than their mother being a whore? Well, because their mom's a whore, and because she usually emasculated him in many different ways, you know what I'm saying? Then he ended up gravitating towards men. And most of the time, his mom being a whore means that there was a lot of male traffic, and a lot of male traffic is eventually going to equal her sons being sexually abused or molested, raped, right? So, in the end of the day, they end up liking men because to them, men hold the power. Obviously, they had the power over his mother, right? For her to not care about the well being of her sons, right? Her children. They held the power to be able to molest them without any help, without any savior coming to help them. And by savior, I don't mean Jesus. I mean like a human person never coming to their aid, right? So it looks like being with a man is the way to go. And they usually end up, it's way more complicated than that, but they usually end up with another man. Okay? And that that really is horrible, because when you come along and you're a decent female energy, that feminine energy is so uncomfortable to them. It's uncomfortable to them because the first female energy they encountered, being their mother, showed them that they were trash, themselves and they showed their kids, which grows up to be the male narc, that they are trash, and that the only thing that is valuable as an exchange, whether as some kind of currency, is sex, right? And so in that case, the male narc, look, they hate their mother because their mother let these bad things, terrible things happen to them. But they also hate her because she was obviously the weakest link in every scenario they've ever seen, right? They hate their mother because she was a whore, and because she was being a whore, it caused a lot of pain to them and maybe really foul situations happening to them physically, right? By people that their mom was whoring with. It caused them not to be paid attention to because their mom was busy sucking dick or doing whatever she was doing, which most likely was sucking some dick and doing some other things, right? So, in the grand scheme of things, the narcissist fucking hates women. And instead of dishing that out to his mom, like we mentioned, well, like I mentioned in a previous video, they'd rather seek out women that they can abuse that don't deserve it. Because I mean, come on, no one really deserves it. Even if you're buying a prostitute, I mean, she's just working, bro. Is it the best job? No. But does she deserve to be like murdered or fucked up or beat up? No. You know what I'm saying? Come on, it's a human. But in their mind, in the male narc's mind, he finds women and he abuses them. I.e., since my last relationship ended up with my ex narc catching various unforgivable diseases, I believe HIV and herpes, what I saw him do was he targeted a bunch of women on purpose and tried to get and made sure to give it to as many women as possible. He wanted to just, like Pokemon, like gotta catch them all. You become a Pokemon to that narcissist, okay? He wants to catch all of you, and he wants to inject you with every disease on purpose, intentionally. Okay. Unfortunately, like I said in the last video, the health department, I don't have an address for him because he's like a vagabond. You know what I mean? But like, um, so it's hard to catch somebody like that. But so he's purposefully. I knew that every person that I saw on the back of his bike was about to get AIDS and herpes. Period. And he always made sure it was women. Now, do they do that to men too? Yeah, but they're only emotionally really connected to men. Okay, they're usually DL boys and all that stuff. Their mother, are they emotionally connected to her? They're emotionally tied to her, but that's different from being connected. That's different from wanting to be around her. That's more like soul tie-ish. You know what I'm saying? So they'll basically abuse women, inject them with as many diseases as possible to eradicate us as a punishment for what mommy did. All right? Or what mommy didn't do. That's why if you want to really find out who someone is, if you are a female dating a man and you have any inkling that something's wrong with him, sometimes case searches and stuff like that, that isn't enough because that's not where they're going to be on. Everybody's not a criminal. So let me give you some sites that they might be on. And one of the biggest ones is Grindr. That man is probably on the DL. He's probably having sex with a lot of dudes. And it's more than likely that he's not on any criminal search sites because maybe everybody's not an actual criminal that got caught. This man is probably on, I wrote some down, okay? Now, these are only, now, mine is Grindr. Some of these are the ones that are in my city, in DC. And I'm pretty sure that he's watching this and taking notes so he can go on those sites. But I'm still going to give them to you so that you can maybe be encouraged to, if you date again, check, even if you're not dating again, I bet if you just, out of boredom, went on these sites to look around, his face might pop up. Your ex-narc. But Tinder, obviously, Tinder is one of them. Snapchat is one that my ex-narc used to lure women in so that he could purposefully give her and infect her with an unforgivable disease and also leave her with that disease. So he met her on Snapchat. Grindr is it though. Grindr seems to be the universal one where like Gay men can go on there, DL or not, and just like meet each other and link up. Um, Obviously Pornhub, because see, a lot of times these men, not only are they recording themselves having sex with you and exploiting those videos of you, but what they're not exploiting is if they're even recording it, they probably don't even record them having sex with men who they really want, right? And if they do, they'll put it on something like Pornhub to try to make money out of it. They very rarely show you. See, it's what they don't show you that they're really into. And usually they're not recording them having sex with dudes. They're recording them having sex with women, and they are posting that in various places to try to embarrass women. All right. So there's that. I know this message is kind of like all over the place, but I'm like thinking about it. I'm like, so if your narc ever recorded you having sex, which they probably did, okay, that not only did they probably do it, if you found out about it, or you knowingly did it, they did show people and they did try to embarrass you with it. But as far as what they really into, it's having sex with dudes, other dudes, okay? And more than likely, they didn't record it because they're embarrassed because they're on the DL. So they're going to be on places like Pornhub, which I found out my ex-narc was on Pornhub, jacking off in alleys and stuff like that. There's one that I just saw in DC only, so I don't know what's in your area, called Archer, like an archer, like shoot your shot. There's another one called One Night Friend, which is even extra disgusting. So those are just a few websites, dating apps and things that are free, I believe. If you want to just explore them to see if the person that you are dating is on that shit. Just saying. That's the kind of sites you need to be looking at. Definitely not people search and all that shit and criminal search and all that shit. Everybody know criminal, baby. The criminal shit they're doing is sexual. And the sites you need to be looking at is those gay sites. All right? Anyway, I love you guys. How was your 4th of July? I always ask, did you get a Hoover? Or are you past that? How are you doing? I hope it was cool. And I hope that you got to see some fireworks and that the fireworks weren't the lights on a police car. All right. I love you. Bye.